Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone for coming. We're going to begin. You ready? Okay. Have you ever felt anxious or stressed out from your everyday life? Have you ever felt like you need to relax or just take a break? I know that I have. Studies have proven that ages 18 through 33 struggle with stress the most in the entire nation. I was curious about this, so I asked myself, what are some ways that I could reduce this stress? Did you know that engaging in painting as a form of creative expression has been scientifically proven to reduce stress levels by 75% in adults? My name is Olivia, and this semester for senior seminar, I taught myself how to paint. Now you may be wondering, why painting? Well, growing up, I was always told that I'm a pretty creative person. I loved arts and crafts such as making jewelry, painting, coloring, and even pottery. But these things were just little hobbies. I never actually put them to good use before. The past 4 years in high school, whenever there was a project which required art, such as a class assignment, a club poster, or a sporting event poster for senior night or, say, homecoming, I would never find myself cutting out the letters and gluing them on. I would never find myself tracing out the letters and coloring them in. I'd always head down to the basement, pick up a paintbrush, and paint the letters in. This was because I found it very relaxing. I'm not the only one who has painted to better their mental health. Artists like Bob Ross and Vincent van Gogh both began painting for reasons like me. Vincent van Gogh was suffering with severe depression for over a year. That was until his little brother Theo suggested that he try painting because of how much he loved the arts. In contrast, Bob Ross started painting because he found solace and relaxation in the act of painting. He even started his own CBS show called The Joy of Painting to share his love with others. Both of these artists have become inspirations to young painters, not only advocating to learn how to paint, but also to better their mental health. This semester, I learned many different ways to paint. I learned how to paint using watercolors, acrylic, and even spray paint. I learned many different methods, such as landscape painting, perspective painting, finger painting, and still painting. I ended up coming out with 8 pieces. 35 hours this semester was filled with researching, watching videos, and a lot of practice. Now you may be thinking to yourself, well, that doesn't seem very relaxing or stress-free. Let me tell you now that it really wasn't. I would go in my room and I would watch videos of Bob Ross or how-to videos of Vincent van Gogh and George O'Keeffe. I would then go to the basement, pick up a paintbrush, and try to paint exactly how they did. It was nearly impossible. I kept on messing up, and my paintings were not coming out like how I wanted them to. For a long time, I thought about giving up or switching my project. I then thought, what is the purpose? What is the purpose of my project? The whole point of this project was to find a method to relieve my stress. So why am I so stressed out about making my paintings perfect? As Bob Ross once said, we don't make mistakes, just happy little accidents. I then went back in my research and I thought of 3 key things that I wanted to tune in on next time I'm painting. When I'm painting, I want to feel relaxed. Painting should not be stressful. That is not what my project is about. I wanted to feel like I had creative freedom when I was painting. I didn't want it to feel like I was just copying some other artist's work. My paintings should be all about me. And lastly, I wanted to have fun when I was painting, because why would I do something if it isn't fun? Out of all the methods I learned, landscape was truly my favorite, and it hit on the 3 key things that I wanted to focus on. On the left, I created a seascape painting, using the scratch tool method to create the white water and the waves. On the right, I created a mountain range with a sunset in the background. I also used the scratch tool method to create the dimension in the mountains. These landscapes allowed for a lot of creative freedom because no ocean wave is perfect and no sunset is the same. It was fun to just play around with the colors. Those were 2 paintings I liked. Now here's a painting that I did not like very much. This is an example of trying to paint in perspective. Tune in on the word trying. It was not very relaxing at all because of how tedious it was, and I could not figure out how to make the buildings in the background smaller. I didn't even start painting. I just gave up. And that is not something to be stressed about. it's okay to just give up, because that is not what my project was about. To show how much fun I had this semester, I had some of my friends come over, and we made this painting of all of our hands. It wasn't very difficult, and there was nothing really to teach, but it was very fun and relaxing to just play with the paint. This was not only fun, but it allowed for creative expression, and it was not perfect by any means, but it had a much deeper meaning than just copying some other artist's work. I also went to a year fired with my mom, and we painted bowls. My mom works a lot, so she deals with a lot of stress. It was fun for her to escape her everyday normal reality and just have fun painting with me. She may not have been the best painter ever, but she told me that it put her mind at ease. The greatest thing about painting is that anybody can do it, no matter what age. Painting has no limit. Painting is commonly used today in senior living homes because it is not only a fun activity, but it also helps improve memory, motor skills, and emotional well-being. Painting is a great hobby to pick up when you're younger because it can then be used as a tool when you're older. Now that I'm an adult, I will be dealing with much more stress than I dealt with when I was younger, with going to college, growing up, and getting a job, etc. I now have these painting methods that I can use whenever I'm feeling anxious, stressed, or nervous. I know I can pick up a paintbrush and paint whenever I'd like. As Vincent van Gogh once said, painting is the silent poetry of the visual world, where every stroke whispers a story and every color palette reveals the emotions that words fail to capture. Any questions? Yeah.
If you were to paint something else, what was your next thing you wanted to paint?
The next thing I wanted to paint?
Yeah, that you didn't paint this semester.
I would probably do more still paintings